So good afternoon, my name is Dan Milroy. I'm the managing partner of Equipco Limited. Equipco's a manufacturer's representative spanning the country since 1982. In Ontario, we've been in business for the last 8 years, and we're very proud to be part of this Habitat home build in St. Thomas. Very close to my heart because I'm a St. Thomas homeboy from 1978. Live very close by to here, so we're proud to be part of this endeavor. In any case, I'd like to introduce two key members of our Equipco staff. Adam Hedden is our business development manager. Adam's located in London, Ontario. And Matthew Reed is our technical, let's do that again. Matthew Reed's our senior technical sales representative. And Matthew's from Barrie, Ontario, and we're very happy to have him as well. Matthew actually designed some of the systems with Adam in this house, and we'd like to thank all of our manufacturers, which we'll call out by name as we're going through, for their donations through us for the mechanical systems that you're going to see. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to Adam, and he'll mention...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we're going to go through this this unit here, and we're going to take Tegan and Dante through and tell them about the products that we've donated on behalf of Equipco and the manufacturers we represent. And we're going to talk to her about how to maintain them as a homeowner so they stay working efficiently and for a long time. So why don't we head on inside and show you your new space and talk about the equipment involved. As we come in here, I just want you to note those grills in the ceiling and in the walls. Just make note of them. And we're going to go upstairs. We're going to talk about what they are and what they do. So, the toilet. The toilet was donated by Equipco, and it's a Toto toilet. We represent Toto in all of Canada, excluding Quebec. And first, two main features I want you to note. So, after Dante comes in and goes to the washroom and he's mad at something you've said to him, he can't slam the seat because it's a soft close seat. So it'll just softly close on its own every time. Now, the other nice thing, your typical toilet has rim holes around the top, and those rim holes provide water when you flush. The difference with this one is it's got two water jets. Those water jets, when you flush the toilet, shoot water out, and they spin, creating a tornado action in the toilet. Now, that tornado action creates a centrifugal force and makes sure everything flushes down that toilet. Additionally, because of that force, it's cleaning the bowl. So the water actually scrubs the inside of the bowl and keeps it a lot cleaner and less bacteria buildup. So those are some features, and throughout the whole house, I think there's 2 bathrooms in this house. You have Toto toilets in both. Cool. I'm going to hand it over to Matthew here to talk about, in the bedroom here, the grill that I told you to note in the kitchen.
So something that's pretty near and dear to my heart is indoor air quality. Some people don't know, but the air inside of your home on any specific day is, tens of hundreds of times dirtier inside the home than it is outside the home. So what your home has is actually a fresh air system called an Hrv. It stands for heat recovery ventilator. And every room, you're going to see some of these diffusers up here, okay? And what that's doing in the wet rooms, which such as your kitchen and your bathroom, that's going to be pulling exhaust air out of the house. And it's going to be running it through a core, which I'll show you in the basement, and it's going to be pulling air in from outside and supplying this fresh air to every room inside of the house. So if anyone has any asthma or breathing probabilities inside of their lungs or whatever, the fresh air inside of the home is going to, help to severely alleviate any of that and help out everybody out to breathe a little easier inside of the home. And Adam's got a picture here of the ductwork that is actually being run through. So this is air excellent duct made by a company called Centrotherm. And this air excellent ductwork is actually pretty unique. It's all one continuous piece and it's completely airtight. So we get every bit of efficiency out of the Hrv and out of this pipe that we possibly can. And this pipe is actually anti-static and antimicrobial, meaning that no buildup of dust, no buildup of any allergens, no buildup of anything inside the pipe. The air that is going to be coming into your home is as clean today as it's ever going to be in the history of the time that you own this house.
So keep in mind, Matthew is our technical sales rep, so he speaks in technical terms. So if he is, getting way above your head, That's fine. I will speak in a little clearer terms for you. It's taking out dirty, stale air out of your home and providing new, fresh air that's been conditioned. So if it's a cold day outside, you're not bringing in cold air. It's conditioned through the HRV. It's HRV, heat recovery. So it goes through a core and there's a heat transfer. So that heat comes onto the fresh air coming back into your home. So you're breathing fresh air every time you take a breath.
Cool.
We're going to go down to the mechanical room where there's a lot more to talk about, and we'll throw a lot of information at you at once.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
We're going to talk about each piece of equipment. We're probably going to throw a lot of information at you, and you're not going to remember it all. But if you have any questions, you can reach out to Habitat, you can reach out to us directly, or the contractor that installed this put their sticker right there for you with their phone number. So if you ever have any questions, you just give them a call, and they'll be able to answer any question you have. I'll let Matthew start off with the HRV system. So this is what's providing fresh air into your space.
So this is what we mentioned. The piece that's pulling stale air from inside the home and exhausting it outside, bringing in fresh air and supplying it inside the home. It's all coming through this HRV. So let me just pull the doors off and give you a quick look at what it looks like. And this is also be part of the maintenance. Once a season, but once every 3 months, you're gonna come in and pop the doors off this guy. And this is the inside of the unit. Fresh air is going to be coming in, passing in through the core, then passing through the core and into your supply line, supplying it through the house. Exhaust air from inside comes in, through, and then exhausted to the outside. So that's where your heat transfer is happening, is inside of this core. These guys are your filters. So as you see, they're brand new, fresh, and nothing on them. Real simple, easy. Keep an eye on them, but once the season, have a look. If you see dust or dirt or debris, you can clean them out with just standard soap and water, running under the kitchen sink, and everything's going to be just fine. After a while of usage, this is your fresh air supply filter. You might see this thing get dirty over the course of a couple of years and need to be replaced. You can contact Fantech or Golo or ourselves at Equipco to help you get this. So this HRV itself is made by a company called Fantech. And what you have is you have the most efficient HRV on the market today at 83% efficient. So there is nothing more that can do any more heat transfer than this unit that you have right here. And I just put that filter in backwards.
So he did that accidentally on purpose. So he wants you to know that there is a wrong way to put in the filter. It does have to face a certain way to be able to have the airflow pass through.
There's an arrow on it, and I keep on losing my arrow. But anyway, this time I got it.
Next, we're going to talk about this. This is the air handler, and this is basically what there's a heating coil and a cooling coil within here that's heating and cooling your space. This is made by GE, so GE appliances, and that's connected to your heat pump, which is outside. And we'll talk about the heat pump when we go back outside and how it works. Basically, what's happening is your air is passing through here. It's being conditioned to hot or cold, depending on whether you have it on air conditioning or heating. And then it's being put back into your space. Now, there is a filter. As you can see, it says filter right there. You'll likely need a ladder, because I need a ladder, and you're not much taller than I am. Not that I'm tall, but so you just unthread these, pull this filter out, and it's actually a reusable filter. So you just throw it in here, wash it off, let it dry, throw it back in, and it will dry very quickly. So that's basically all there is to do as a homeowner on this one, is make sure this is clean. Now, I'm going to let Matthew talk about this because he's so passionate about filters and clean air. But you will want to clean it once a month for the first 6 months because of all the construction materials and dust and debris and different things like that.
Right. So there is no standard rules when it comes to filters. When they're dirty, you change them. There is a specific rule that you should follow with regards to at least inspecting them. For every inch thick that the filter is, and this goes for everyone, for every inch thick that the filter is, that's how many months you can leave your filter before at least looking at it. So you have a 1-inch filter, which means that once a month you're probably going to be having a look at this thing. If you fall behind, that's completely acceptable because it happens all over the world. We get it. No rush of pressure there. It's just something to keep in mind that is something you don't want people to keep an eye on. The cleaner this filter is, the more efficient this unit is at moving air through it. That's all.
The next thing will be the Bradford White tankless water heater. So there's a few things about a tankless water heater, and actually Matthew will take through the technical version, and then I'll kind of talk less technical, we'll call it. We want to thank Bradford White for their donation of this tankless water heater. Tankless water heaters are great and a technology that's fastly growing in popularity. One main thing you want to do on a tankless water heater is once a year, you want to call that number right up there, GOLO, and you want to call them and say, hey, it's springtime, can you come in and do a flush of my tankless water heater? And what they're going to do is they're going to hook up a hose down here, and they're going to hook up a hose here, and they're going to put it into that drain, and they're going to run vinegar or some sort of chemical through here, and it's going to clean the heat exchanger inside. Cleaning that heat exchanger is very important because if you don't clean it, it'll build up calcium buildups and stuff like that on the inside. Eventually it'll crack that heat exchanger. You need a new heat exchanger. It costs you a lot of money. Nobody wants that. This will run for a long time if it's maintained. Just like a car. If a car oil changes are done and the brakes are tuned up, it's going to run for a long time. If none of that's done, it's going to break down. Same thing with any of your mechanical systems.
With regards to the scale building up, I mean, if you've ever descaled a Keurig, or if you've ever opened up an electric kettle and seen the scale build up on the inside of that, that's all that's happening here. There's nothing crazy. I'm not getting into the technical side of it for the mineral salts inside of waters, but essentially that's it. With regards to what you're going to be using to flushing it, I prefer vinegar myself. It's completely non-toxic and it's unbelievably cheap. You can get about 100 gallons of it for like $20. So you do whatever you want to do, but once you run through it a couple times, you'll see it's a very simple and straightforward process. So let's talk about the tankless water heater itself and what you need to expect in regards to what it is versus a standard tank type. First and foremost, you need to know that you will never, ever, ever run out of hot water. That's a complete impossibility with these machines. If you want to have all of your showers run for the next 7 years, fill your boots. Go crazy. You will still have the same temperature water coming out of that faucet that you started with at the beginning. Right now the unit is set to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Most people shower at the average temperature of about 105 to 107 degrees, so you're actually going to be doing a bit of mix down in the shower anyway. Point being, you will never run out of hot water, ever, but what will happen is if you overtax the unit or try to overuse it, you'll see a decrease in pressure. So although you still get the same temperature, it will sacrifice pressure to make sure that you're always getting the temperature you want out of the unit. Now if you want to leave it at 122, that's completely fine. It's good for washing dishes, doing the dishwasher, or stuff like that. If you want to bring that temperature down a bit for the children inside the home, 115 is again a completely acceptable temperature and still meets that minimum shower requirements. You do whatever makes sense to you. So
to do that, you literally just press the negative button down to 115.
Oh,
that's how you change it.
That's it.
cool.
So the second part of the tankless water heater is something that's known as the cold water sandwich. Sounds delicious, right? So, with a tank type water heater, you have a big storage of hot water that you're constantly pulling from into the home. Tankless makes it on demand. The way that the unit operates is it's activated off a flow. So if you turn on that tap over there and activate hot water flowing through this unit, the unit will turn on and fire. As soon as you turn off that tap, there we go. As soon as you turn off that tap, the unit is going to then turn off.
So you hear it start up? Yeah. It's not loud by any means.
So if you're running it and doing a tap on and off and on and off, the unit itself is going to be turning on and off and on and off. During those times between its on and off cycle, cold water will now be cycling through your heat exchanger. Little slugs of cold water between hot water, hence the cold water sandwich. We recommend that with the tankless water heater, when you need your hot water, you turn on your tap and you leave it on. You're still saving energy by the unit itself being 90+% efficient compared to a less efficient standard tank type, and you're not going to get any of the cold water sandwich. The unit's designed to turn on and run a long time, so turn on your tap, leave it on until you're done with the hot water, then turn it off.
So the last thing is, these are the Air Excellent ducts here that we saw from upstairs, those grills. So those are coming down through distribution boxes and through the HRV. They donated this complete system and did the full engineered design for the whole house. So we want to thank them for that. As a homeowner, what do you have to do to maintain it? Nothing. It's all done through the HRV.
Cool.
So as soon as you clean that HRV, you're good. There's no maintenance on it. So, this is your heat pump. GE heat pump. Obviously noted here. It is the same GE that makes the refrigerators and dishwashers and so on. There's not a lot to it from a maintenance standpoint other than during dandelion season when all the pollen's flying around, it loves to stick to these coils on the side here. So as you can see here, it's nice and clean today.
Yes.
That's how it wants to look. It'll also stick in here and get on the fan blade and that type of thing as well. So how do you clean it? You literally just take a hose, put it on high spray, and just spray it down so it all drops down. Same thing on the inside, spray it, and make sure that's nice and clean. That will cause a lot of issues if it's dirty and clogged. Won't allow the airflow to pass through, and you probably won't have cooling or heating. But it's typically in the cooling season that you're gonna see that happen.
So the fins themselves, they are, very thin pieces of metal. So when you are spraying them down, it's good to keep about 6 to 8 inches away so that you don't cause any bends to these fins here. And it's advisable to make sure that, you don't have anybody kind of coming in and running their hands over this to kind of create those little dents inside of that. If that does happen, you can fix that with a comb, but we try to avoid that as best we can.
Yes.
Okay, so basically, this is the operation of how a heat pump works. What any air conditioner heat pump does is it grabs heat from somewhere and it moves it. It's all about moving it. Your refrigerator inside your house is grabbing that heat from inside your refrigerator and putting it out the back. Essentially, that's all that we're doing here is we're grabbing heat from the outside of your house, even in the coldest day of the year. Even if it's minus 30, it's minus 35. There's always heat inside the air. We're grabbing that heat and we're moving it to the inside of the house. And what we're doing with that is called that heat pump technology, where we're transferring that energy from one medium to another. And the way that we're doing this is by boiling and condensing refrigerants. This guy inside of here is an R410A refrigerant. Not that that's anything you ever need to know or remember, but we're just boiling and condensing refrigerants. And as long as we have good airflow here and on the coil inside, by keeping that filter clean, we're gonna have years of trouble-free service.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Okay.
Again, once or twice a year at the start of cooling season, at the start of heating season, it'd be good to just have a maintenance done on this. The guys at Golo will take care of that, or if you have a contact that's a friend, someone that's a contractor, you can call them as well. But
Okay.
Golo Heating and Cooling knows this system inside and out, so for them to do maintenance on it would be very easy.
Perfect.
Essentially, your maintenance for your first 5-10 years at least is just gonna make sure that everything stays clean. That's about it.
Cool.
And that's really it. I know we didn't throw very much at you, but that's everything that we've kind of put into the house, donated, some of our time and our materials, and Matthew's talents on designing some of it. So we hope you enjoy your new space. Congratulations.
Thank you so
And,
We're
much.
excited. We're very
Thank
excited.
you. Thank you for.
and feel free to call us if you're not sure of something. What did they say about this?
Yeah.
Don't worry.
There
we're
probably will be a couple phone calls.
absolutely no problem.
Yeah.